So you finally got that promotion. You know the one I'm talking about. Maybe it's a $10,000 raise. You've been grinding for 2 years, putting in the late nights, dealing with the stress, and it finally happened. You feel amazing, right? You feel rich. But then, fast forward 6 months, you check your savings account expecting to see a pile of cash, and there's basically the same amount sitting there as before the raise. Maybe even less. You upgraded your apartment because, you could finally afford that extra bedroom. You started eating out more because you told yourself you deserve it. And somehow, you feel like you have less money than before you got the raise. If this sounds familiar, you aren't crazy. You just experienced what economists call lifestyle creep. And here's the really messed up part. That slightly nicer apartment that costs $200 more per month, you think it's just $200, but that's literally $240,000 you just deleted from your retirement. Every single dollar that creeps into your lifestyle is a dollar that can't compound for your future. Look, here's the thing about lifestyle creep that nobody really talks about. We've all heard the warnings. Don't let your spending increase with your income. Great advice, super helpful. It's like telling someone trying to lose weight, just eat less. Technically correct, completely useless. The reason lifestyle creep is so insidious, and I mean genuinely insidious, is that it doesn't feel like a mistake while you're making it. It feels like progress. You aren't being irresponsible, you aren't buying a yacht, you're just living a little better. My name is Liam, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people who make six figures still live paycheck to paycheck. If you're someone who feels like no matter how much more you earn, you never seem to get ahead financially, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. You worked hard for this raise. Why shouldn't you enjoy it? That is the question that traps everyone. And that is exactly the trap. Let me hit you with some data. A study from the Federal Reserve in 2023 found that for every dollar increase in income, the average American's spending increases by 90 cents within the first year. 90 cents. That means if you get a $20,000 raise, you are only capturing $2,000 of that in actual wealth building. The other $18,000 just evaporates. It disappears into slightly nicer versions of things you already had. But here's what most people don't realize, and this is crucial. Lifestyle creep isn't actually about the money. It's about identity. Think about it. When you make $45,000 a year, you have a certain identity. You're scrappy, you're hustling. You shop at certain stores, you drive a certain car, and you live in a certain neighborhood. And that's fine because everyone around you making similar money is doing the same thing. Then you get bumped to $65,000, and something weird happens in your brain. You start thinking, I'm not a $45,000 person anymore. I'm a $65,000 person. And $65,000 people don't drive 2008 Civics. They don't live with two roommates. They don't meal prep chicken and rice every Sunday. This is called reference group comparison, and it is absolutely destroying your financial future. I saw this play out with a friend of mine. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus was making about $50,000, driving an old Corolla, and was legitimately saving about $400 a month. He was doing okay. Then he gets promoted to $72,000, huge jump. Within a year, the Corolla turned into a $35,000 car loan, and his rent doubled for a luxury apartment. And here is the kicker. Despite making $22,000 more, he was saving less than before. When I asked him about it, he said the most dangerous words in personal finance. Dude, I can afford it now. And technically he wasn't wrong. He could afford the payments. But every single one of those decisions was making him busier, more stressed, and completely trapped on the income treadmill. This is where it gets really interesting, because there's actually a stupidly simple rule that prevents all of this. I call it the $1 rule, and it works like this. 50 cents of every dollar you earn above your current income gets automatically routed to savings, investments, or debt payoff before you can spend it. That's it. That's the rule. Now you might be thinking, Liam, that's insane. You're telling me if I get a $10,000 raise, I can only enjoy $5,000 of it? Yes, exactly. And here's why that's not insane at all. Let's do the actual math, because this is where most financial advice falls apart. Let's say you're 28 years old, making $55,000. You get a raise to $70,000. That's an extra $15,000 per year, or about $900 a month after taxes. Scenario A, the normal path. You let lifestyle creep happen naturally. You get the $200 nicer apartment, you get the $150 nicer car payment, you spend $100 more on food and entertainment, and $50 more on subscriptions and misc stuff. Your lifestyle improves, sure, but you're only saving maybe $100 more per month than before. Over 30 years, that $100 a month compounds to about $149,000 at 8% returns. Scenario B, the $1 rule. You take that $900 raise, you take $450 of it, half, and you automatically invest it. The other $450, you can use that for lifestyle upgrades guilt-free. Over 30 years, that $450 a month compounds to about $670,000. That is over $500,000 difference from one raise, from one decision. This is literally the difference between retiring at 65 and retiring at 55, or the difference between retiring comfortably and working until you're 73. But here's the really crazy part, and this is what I want you to really sit with. In scenario B, you still got to upgrade your lifestyle. You still got the nicer apartment or the better car or whatever matters to you. You just didn't upgrade everything all at once. And I guarantee you, absolutely guarantee you that 5 years from now, the person who followed the $1 rule is happier, not because they have more stuff, they actually have slightly less stuff, but because they have options. They have freedom. They have that beautiful number in their investment account that's growing every single day. Now look, I can already hear some of you saying, but Liam, I'm barely making ends meet right now. When I get a raise, I actually need that money for real expenses. And I get it, I really do. If you're making $35,000 and living in an expensive city, a raise to $45,000 might actually be about survival, not lifestyle creep. But here's what I've noticed, and push back if I'm wrong. Most people who say they need the full raise are confusing needs with wants that feel like needs. You don't need the nicer apartment. You want it because your coworker has it. You don't need the new car. You want it because your old car feels embarrassing now that you're making more. You don't need to eat out 3 times a week. You want to because meal prepping feels beneath your new income level. See the difference? The dollar rule forces you to be honest about this distinction, because if you're automatically routing half your raise to investments, you have to actively choose what lifestyle upgrades actually matter. You can't just let it all happen passively, and that's the point. Here's another objection I hear. But I've been working hard. I deserve to enjoy my money. Absolutely, you do deserve it. But here's the question nobody asks. Which version of you deserves it more? Is it 28-year-old you who wants a nicer car? Or is it 58-year-old you who wants to retire early? Is it 32-year-old you who wants a bigger apartment? Or 62-year-old you who wants financial independence? The dollar rule isn't about denying present you. It's about being fair to both present you and future you. Half and half. Seems pretty reasonable when you think about it that way. Here's what most people don't realize about lifestyle creep. It's not a one-time thing. It's a pattern that repeats with every single income increase for your entire career. Let's track 2 people over 20 years. Both start at $50,000 at age 25. Both get roughly 4% raises annually, pretty standard. Both reach $110,000 by age 45. Person A, no rule. They let lifestyle creep happen naturally with each raise. By 45, they're making $110,000, yes, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck, saving maybe 5% of their income. Their net worth, approximately $125,000. Person B, the $1 rule. They implement the $1 rule from the start. Every raise, half goes to future self. By 45, they're making $110,000, yes, but they've been consistently investing the incremental increases. Their net worth, approximately $485,000. That's a $360,000 difference. Same jobs, same raises, same income, completely different financial realities. And here's the wild part. Person B doesn't feel deprived. They still upgraded their lifestyle over those 20 years, just more intentionally, more slowly. And now they have something person A will never have until they dramatically change their behavior. Options. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Because knowing the rule and implementing the rule are two very different things. Step 1. Automate immediately. The day your raise takes effect, literally that day, you need to set up automatic transfers. If you got a $10,000 raise, that's roughly $600 after taxes per month. $300 of that needs to automatically go to your investment account on payday. Not next month, not when you get around to it, that day. Why? Because here's the thing about human psychology. We adapt to whatever's in our checking account. If you see $3,500 land in your account every paycheck, you will find ways to spend $3,500. If you see $3,200 land in your account, you will find ways to spend $3,200. The number almost doesn't matter. Your spending will expand to fill whatever space you give it. Step 2. Track your baseline. Before any raise or income increase, document your current lifestyle costs. Rent, $1,200. Car, $250. Groceries, $350. Whatever. Write it all down. This becomes your baseline. The $1 rule says you can upgrade from this baseline, but only with the 50% you're allowed to spend. This prevents the sneaky creep where you're not sure if you're upgrading or if things just got more expensive. Step 3. Choose your upgrades intentionally. Let's say you have that $300 to work with. Don't just let it dissipate into slightly nicer everything. Choose the 1 or 2 upgrades that will actually improve your quality of life. Maybe it's $200 more for a much better apartment location that cuts your commute by 45 minutes daily. That's worth it. Maybe it's $150 more per month for a gym membership and healthy meal prep service because you've been wanting to get serious about fitness. That's worth it. But it's not all of that, plus a new car, plus eating out more, plus more expensive clothes, plus a bigger TV. You have to choose, and that choosing is what prevents the creep. Step 4. Reassess every 6 months. Here's the thing. Your life changes. Maybe you got another raise. Maybe you had a kid. Maybe you moved cities. Every 6 months, sit down and honestly assess, am I still following the $1 rule or has creep started happening? Because it will try to happen. It's relentless. Your brain will constantly find new ways to justify why you need to spend more. Your friends will upgrade their lifestyles and you'll feel pressure to keep up. You'll get marketed to constantly about why your current stuff isn't good enough. The reassessment keeps you honest. Look, I'm going to be real with you. The $1 rule isn't actually about money. It's about freedom. Every dollar you spend today on lifestyle upgrades is a dollar that can't buy you freedom tomorrow. And freedom, real financial freedom, is the ability to make decisions based on what you want to do, not what you can afford to do. It's the freedom to leave a job you hate because you have a year's expenses saved up. It's the freedom to start a business because failure won't ruin you. It's the freedom to retire at 55 instead of 70. It's the freedom to handle an emergency without panic. That slightly nicer car you're considering, that's not freedom, that's just a nicer cage. I think what frustrates me most about lifestyle creep is how invisible it is. Nobody sits down and thinks, you know what, I'm going to systematically destroy my financial future by making slightly more expensive choices in every category of my life. It just happens, month by month, year by year, raise by raise. And then you wake up at 45 making 6 figures and wondering why you're still stressed about money, why you can't seem to get ahead, why you feel trapped. The $1 rule is the circuit breaker. It's the thing that stops the pattern before it becomes your identity. Here's my challenge for you. The next time your income increases, whether that's next month or next year, implement the $1 rule. Just try it for 1 raise. See what happens. I promise you, the lifestyle upgrades you choose with your 50% will feel more satisfying because they're intentional. And watching that investment account grow with the other 50% will give you a feeling that no material upgrade ever could. It's the feeling of watching your freedom grow. And look, if you try this and it doesn't work for you, fine. Go back to what you were doing. But at least you'll know. At least you'll have made an active choice instead of just letting it happen to you. The difference between people who build wealth and people who just make money is this. Wealthy people make their money work for them before they work for their money. The $1 rule is how you do that. It's how you break the cycle. It's how you stop trading your future for a slightly nicer present. If this video helped you see lifestyle creep differently, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment and let me know, what's the one lifestyle upgrade you always justify, even though you know it's probably creepy? I read every comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Now go automate those transfers before you talk yourself out of it.